Mike, you and I have just left global firms and transitioned into different careers. That's why we're sat here in Cambridge today. And I think we feel that our journey and both the programs that our firms developed have lessons for the future, and we've used those to develop a 2-day program aimed both at partners who are thinking about transitioning into a different career, and also about those on the management side of firms who want to understand what these programs could bring to them.
I think that's right, and these are two very important constituencies that need to be considered within this, and probably one of the most important issues for the partners and also for the firms at a second level is timing. Just when are they actually going to start this process and start the conversation that says it's okay to start thinking about what I'm going to do after I've chosen to leave my firm.
Yeah, I think you and I found quite a dramatic difference when we talked to partners who have transitioned in terms of how long they had to prepare for it.
Certainly did, and we see some partners who've chosen to take about 6 months to try, and I use that word advisedly, to try and effect a transition, through to others who are 2 to 3 years out. Certainly our recommendation would be 2 to 3 years out is a good time to work your way through this in a meaningful, practical way that's good for the firm, good for the clients, and more importantly, good for the partner as well.
Yeah, I think that provided they have enough time, there's a great feeling of being in control, of actually being able to actually design the other careers that you're most interested in. And one of the biggest drivers I've found there is developing a sense of direction of what you actually want to do. That can take some time, but once you've done that, then actually everything else starts to fall into place, because once you say this is what I actually want to do, and I'm told even if what you want to do is to sit at home and play golf, that needs some planning, not just in terms of you, but in the impact on your family, or the fact there's somebody home 7 days a week now.
Absolutely, for sure. And a friend of mine said that you can never play enough golf, which probably sounds like heresy to some people, but actually the interest in golf can wane a little bit. But this idea of direction is so crucially important. Most people fall into a career, they spend 20, 30 years working their way through a career, they leave a lot of things behind, and then suddenly when they decided it's time to move on and do something different, it's questionable, what do I really want to do? And without that sense of direction, that clarity of knowing where you want to go, it's very difficult to make other things happen.
Yes, I think the other thing that I've found is that when your career inside a firm does involve networking and building relationships, but they're quite different from the types of networking that you need when it's about brand me. And because I'm going out into the marketplace, I have to persuade people that they should employ me or use me in different roles. And so networking is quite different in that context.
And I think also traditional networking where you're walking the floors or going to events, the game has moved on markedly, and the whole use of social media and all of the various tools that are out there is a skill set that a lot of partners are struggling with and need help with as they're starting to move into doing other things, whether that's commercially or not, as they move out of their firms.
What do we think then are the key messages, the key takeaways, both for individuals and the firms and for the management team?
I think the key messages are at 3 levels. I think there's a message for the individuals about how they are treated, and that's in a microcosm that says something very real about how the firm values its partners. I think there's a message here for the firms themselves, which is they've got a massive resource of tacit knowledge that's walking out the door. What are they doing to maximise that before it goes? And also sending people out as ambassadors when they leave their firms. And then finally, commercially, this just makes really good business sense for smooth transitions of client responsibilities and partners leaving with a sense of well-being, and that they're leaving their firm in a good and better place than they actually inherited.
And I think our experience then of actually meeting partners who've transitioned is that they can actually have a very exciting, fun second career, and one they feel much more in control of. They're not actually at the behest of clients with their phone calls in the middle of the night, much more an ability to design your own life and actually get a greater sense of satisfaction and pleasure from that.
I think that's absolutely right, Kevin.